Okay. Okay. So we're going to look at more distance today. So you can use your foldable that we did the other day on the first lesson. And we're looking at, in a city, there are two parks located on a rectangular grid. Park A is at coordinate 5, -5, -5, and B is at 2, 6. It says, can you determine which park is further away from the city center at 0, 0? So the center is here at the origin, and we want to figure out which one is further away. So if I want to do Park B, I'm going to go to, I always like to do the right triangle thing. To me, it's just quicker. So I've got a distance of 2 here and a distance of 6 here. So I'm looking at 2 squared plus 6 squared, and I'm going to take the square root of that. So that's 4 plus 36, which is the square root of 40. And again, if we take the calculator, we get 6.3 approximately. Okay, now Park A is down here at -5, -5. So if I do the distance formula for A, I'm looking at -5 minus 0 plus -5 minus 0. So that's -5 squared plus -5 squared. So that's the square root of 25 plus 25, which is the square root of 50. So just looking at the radicals, you can tell that B is closer to the center than A is. Okay, and if you took the square root of 50, you can see that that's 7.1. So you can see the number. So A is actually further away from the center of the city. Okay, just straight distance there. This one, same thing we did as the other one. Okay, so today we're going to use the distance formula to solve problems involving perimeter. Okay, so perimeter, remember, is the total distance around the outside of a two-dimensional shape, adding up the lengths of its sides. So let's say you have a triangle. You have side A, B, and C, so you're going to say A plus B plus C equals the perimeter. Okay, so that's just a reminder of what it is. Okay, so here we have three objects in a city, in a Mildred's house, Jose's house, and a school. And each one of these units represents a city block, I guess you could say. It says find the distance between Mildred's house and Jose's house. So we're trying to find the distance between these two houses here. So we can use our ordered pairs. So that's -5, 4 for Mildred, and 6, -3 for Jose. So to find the distance there, okay, so that gives me adding, so that's 11 squared, and that's -7 squared, so that's 121 plus 49, so that would be square root of 170. Okay, so if we do, that would be 13.0. Okay, so we used the distance formula this time and showed our work. Okay, now the second one says Mildred walked to school in the morning, then to Jose's house after school. She returned home at the end of the day. So if we draw her path, she goes to school first, then she goes over to Jose's house, and then she goes home. So this is her path. Now, if we want to determine the perimeter, we already know that this is 13.0 blocks. And if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this is 7 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is 11 blocks. And those were the numbers that we got when we did our x minus x and our y minus y. Okay, so if we add these together, 7 plus 11 plus 13.0 gives us approximately 2831. Okay, so that would be our approximate value if we went this way for her perimeter. Okay, so it says the library is located at 2-4. So here is the library. Now, if Mildred stopped at the library on her way home from Jose's house, what would be her new total distance walk for the day, starting from her house before school? So just like before, she goes from her house to school, that's 7 blocks. She goes from school to Jose's, that's 11 blocks. But now, instead of going straight home, she goes from Jose's to the library and then back home. So from her house to the library, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we just need to find this distance here. Now again, you can use the Pythagorean theorem, so I'm going to do that this time. So the distance 1, 2, 3, 4 for this leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for that leg. So I'm looking at 7 squared plus 4 squared equals, we'll say JL, the length of JL. Take the square root of that. We did that one before, but I don't remember it. 8.1. So that's the length of JL. So this is 8.1. So if we add this together, 7 and 7, that's 14 plus 11 plus 8.1. So that's 25. So that's 33.1 blocks would be the length that she goes if she added the library in there. Okay, later in the day, Jose went to the park at 2, -7. So 2, -7 is down here. It says find the shortest distance between the park and Jose's house. Now, shortest distance is always going to be a straight line. So the shortest distance between these 2 points is this straight line. So again, we can use the distance formula. Jose is at 6, -3. And the park says is at 2, -7. So let's do 2 minus 6 squared, -7 minus -3 squared. So that's -4. And that would also be -4. So that's 16 plus 16. So that's the square root of 32. So that's approximately 5.7. So it's approximately 5.7 blocks from Jose's house to the park. Okay, so you have a practice sheet here that talks about a shopping area, and it's going to ask you some different perimeters and distances and adding them together. So that's your practice for today. Now, let's talk about our summary. It says in the morning, Sarah's mom drives them to school, and it takes her GPS takes her south on A Street, so that's this distance here, and then it takes them east on B Street to get to school. But then she travels the bus home, and it goes straight from school to her house along C Street. So we're going to find the total distance Sarah traveled to and from school. So let's see. Ooh, hard to look at that. That's a 9. Okay, so 9 to -2. So if I go down 9, 10, 11, so this is a length of 11 over here. If I go from, ooh, hard to see, 16 to -12, so 16 and then another 12 would be 28. Okay, so that's those two lengths. So to find the length of C, C Street, whoops, don't need the square. Okay, so 11 squared plus 28 squared is 784, so that's the square root of 784. So take the square root of that, and that gives me, oops, what in the world? That's not right. 11 squared plus 28 squared equals 905. Okay, now, since I got that answer, if I take the square root of that answer, I get 30.1. Okay, so this length is 30.1. So her total distance from school, from home and back to school and back home that's 39 for the two legs plus 30.1. So that's 69.1 units, miles, I don't know what this is, blocks, whatever the unit is, 69.1 units. Okay, so that is our distance. And again, like I said, we do a lot of adding together for the perimeter of these or the total distance between these places.